जय जय चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna everyone. So we are beginning chapter 23 from the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Why study the Vedanta Sutra? Knowledge is information gathered from the scriptures. Real knowledge is information that is gathered from the scriptures, and science is practical realization of that knowledge. Here, this science refers to the term Vigyan. Gyan is gathered from scriptures, and Vigyan is practical realization of that knowledge. That whatever knowledge we have gathered, we get an experience and we get realization. We uh, we go through it. What we have studied, we undergo that experience. That is practical realization of that knowledge. Or we may not go through that experience always, but still there is practical realization of that knowledge. So that is called science or Vigyan. This is not the material mundane science. Knowledge is scientific when it is gathered from the scriptures through the bona fide spiritual master. That means this Gyan becomes Vigyan when it is gathered from scriptures through the bona fide spiritual master. But when it is interpreted by speculation, it is mental concoction. By scientifically understanding the scriptural information through the bona fide spiritual master, one learns by one's own realization the truths of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a very, very important part. If somebody has doubts, what is the need of a bona fide spiritual master, or what is the need of spiritual master? What is the purpose of having a spiritual master? Then this answers the question. This is spoken by Mahaprabhu, and this answers that question. Nowhere it is mentioned that one can just simply acquire knowledge from the scriptures, from the bona fide scriptures, and they can also realize it by themselves. Nowhere it is mentioned. Everywhere it is mentioned through the bona fide spiritual master, through the bona fide spiritual master. One learns by one's own realization the truth of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is different from material manifestations, and it is above the reactions of matter. Unless one scientifically understands, scientifically means not the material scientific way, not in the laboratory, but unless one scientifically understands spiritual form, means what? Unless one understands the realized practical realization of the knowledge through the bona fide spiritual master, and in that way understands the spiritual form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if somebody does not do this, what will happen? One becomes an impersonalist, Mayavad. There are many categories of Mayavadis. Different categories of Mayavadis are there. So if somebody does not try to understand the knowledge and realization of that knowledge and realized knowledge both through the spiritual master, and does not try to understand the spiritual form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what happens? One becomes an impersonalist. That the Supreme has no form. The example comparing the Lord and the material manifestations to the sun and the sunshine is often given. Sunshine in itself is illumination. There is sunshine. We see sunshine everywhere. But that illumination is different from the sun. That sunshine is not sun. It is not that we are seeing the sun everywhere. We are seeing the sunshine everywhere. Yet the sun and the sunshine are not differently situated. Without the sun, there is no question of sunshine. And if there is no sunshine, then what is the use of sun? So sun and sunshine are not differently situated. They are related. Similarly, Mayavadis, they don't accept the form of the Lord, but they accept the effulgence of the Lord. But where is the question of effulgence if the Lord is not there? And where is the question if we say that this is Supreme Lord has to have everything transcendental, everything divine, unimaginable. Then we can say, na, this is supreme. So Supreme Lord has that effulgence. Otherwise, without the effulgence, where is the question of supreme? Unless one is freed from the influence of the material energy, he cannot understand the Supreme Lord and his different energies. The question that yesterday Lokaman Krishna Prabhu asked, that Mataji, we are all under the influence of material energy. That means we will never understand the Supreme Lord. Unless one is freed from the influence of material energy. Actually, when one takes shelter of the bona fide spiritual master and follows the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, what happens is that by the causeless mercy of the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord, such a devotee will undergo various kind of situations wherein whatever is required to free this devotee, the disciple, from the influence of material energy will happen. That is the divine arrangement of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. So, therefore, such a disciple becomes free from the influence of the material energy. Nor can one who is captivated by the spell of material energy, somebody who is very, very absorbed, we have to have a good house, and in the house we will have a lift, so that we have a 4-story house. From ground floor we will have a lift inside the house, and outside the house there will be a huge garden and lawn, and we will have 4 cars. 2 teeny mini bachas are there, but we will buy a car for each of them from the very beginning. So 4 cars should be there. So such a person who is completely absorbed in the material energy of the Lord, completely captivated by the spell of the material energy. I I just remembered, I met someone, and this person, the thought process of this person is they're very rich, very rich. They have a they live in an apartment which is itself has 10 bedrooms, and within the apartment they have a studio and everything. 10 bedrooms in the apartment, and they have a sky, it's a like a sky lawn. So it's a balcony which is like a lawn in itself. And they are so absorbed that their thought process is that wherever we go, it has to be the best of the. If we go to a restaurant, then that restaurant should be the best, where all the Hollywood actors come. We cannot go to a restaurant where ordinary people go. We cannot buy clothes that ordinary people wear. We have to buy designer clothes that are most expensive. And I while I'm reading this, actually I remembered this person. So that is the mindset of the person. This is how captivated somebody can be by the spell of material energy. These are different levels. This is the highest level of being captivated. And they have no faith in the Supreme God. But of course, there was a situation when they were in such a situation that they had no other way. And because they are very embarrassed to say that, okay, there is somebody superior. Therefore, they would ask me, can you pray for us? Can you pray for the situation? Because they cannot pray. The ego, false ego is so high that we don't believe in the Supreme God. But because you believe it, so can you pray for us? That is their way of thinking. But prayers are required because they are in a situation which is out of their control. Actually, every situation is out of our control, but the modes of Maya, material energy, the spell of material energy is such that Maya will make us feel that we are in control of everything. And when we are completely captivated in that spell, then at that time, this Maya will start slapping us left and right in such a way that we realize we are not in control, we are not in control. And that is when the fear becomes so intense that that person becomes completely bewildered, cannot understand what to do and what not to do. So one who is captivated by the spell of material energy cannot understand the spiritual form of the Supreme Lord unless there is realization of the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no question of love of God. Somebody who cannot accept that Krishna, he has a beautiful um, form and a beautiful body color, which is just like the freshly formed monsoon cloud, and who is always having a flute on his waist. Any moment he wants, he climbs on the tree and can play the flute, or he can sit under a tree and play the flute. Who is wearing a dhoti, and he is the Supreme Lord, but he has a mother who decorates him very nicely. And his Gopa friends, they all of them go to the forest, and there in the forest, because it is Chintamani Dham, we cannot imagine. We have to pay so much, lakhs of rupees to get one good gemstone to wear in the hand and show people that we have, these gemstones, 2 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees. But in Chintamani Dham, the stones are Chintam. They are all what we buy for so many rupees and dollars. They are the dust of the Chintamani Dham. So the Gopa friends, what they do, they pick up these gemstones, they rub it on another stone, and the beautiful colors that come out, they start painting on Krishna's forehead. They will make designs on Krishna's forehead. And if they feel, no, I don't, wait, Krishna, then they will erase that, and then they will make another design. And Krishna will also patiently wait. Yeah, makeup is going on. Because Krishna is the supreme hero. And all the Gopa friends, they are decorating Krishna. So, but these people who are in the spell of material energy, they don't know that the Supreme Lord has this kind of a form. They cannot understand that Supreme Lord is wearing dhoti and going behind all the cows. He's a cowherd boy. He has taken the role of a cowherd boy because it's most pleasing. Arey, he's the Supreme Lord. He can do anything. So he wants to become a cowherd boy because he loves cows. Therefore, cow is never considered an animal. Somebody who thinks that cow is an animal is a aparadhi, is an offender. Cow is our mother. Go Mata is not an animal. So unless there is realization of the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no question of love of God. And without love of God, there is no perfection of human life. Human life becomes a waste, bakwas, bogus, gaya. एक और लोचन बोले शेई पापी एलो और गैलो. Lochan Das, Srila Lochan Das Thakur writes a beautiful Vaishnav bhajan, and the last line Srila Lochan Das Thakur says that papi means one who is most sinful. Their life is a waste. They just come and go, come and go, come and go. That is, they take birth, they die, they take birth, they die. So Lochan bole ei papi elo ar galo. One who has not developed love of God, one who has not developed any attachment to the form of Lord. Just as the 5 gross elements of nature, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, are both within and without all the living beings in this world, the Supreme Lord is both inside and outside this existence, and those who are his devotees can realize this. Bahir Nashinga, Ritaye Nashinga. Pure devotees know very well that they are meant to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that all the things that exist around constitute the means by which they can serve the Lord. Srila Prabhupada says we don't want to become Markat Vairagya. Markat means like a monkey. A monkey looks very renounced, lives in the jungle, lives on the trees, eats fruits. But if you see what is the activity of the monkey, constantly running behind the female monkeys. That is their activity. So they are Markat Vairagya. Constantly they are thinking about sense gratification, but externally, if we look at them, okay, they are very renounced. We don't want to become like that. Srila Prabhupada said we have to become Yukta Vairagya. We have to be renounced, not get attached, but use everything possible in the service of Krishna. If there's a good laptop, why not use the laptop? Apple laptop, use it for Krishna's service, to give classes, to read books. Maybe we don't have hard copy. Okay, no problem. Read from the soft copy. You need a you have a what is that, dictaphone. Srila Prabhupada uses this dictaphone and he recorded everything that we read, the purports. Srila Prabhupada used to stay up all night and record them on the dictaphone. The introduction of the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada actually did that introduction in a room where nobody is sitting. But Prabhupada, keeping the instruction of a spiritual master in mind, Srila Prabhupada is giving a class, and Srila Prabhupada says that even if nobody is there in the class, give class to the walls, because wherever Krishna Katha is going on, the demigods are coming and sitting there to listen to the Krishna Katha. So don't think that nobody is there. So Srila Prabhupada gave a class and he recorded in the dictaphone, and that is the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, and nobody was there in Vrindavan. In fact, Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan, everyone who knew Srila Prabhupada would come for the class, and Srila Prabhupada would give the class in English, and nobody understood. Everybody there is they are thinking, अरे स्वामी जी इंग्लिश में काहे क्लास दे रहे? They are all in Braj Bhasha. They are thinking Swami ji is taking class in Hindi. Why? We can't in English. We can't understand English. But Srila Prabhupada is preparing. Srila Prabhupada is actually executing the instruction of a spiritual master. Prabhupada is preparing because instruction was go to the Western world and preach Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada was preparing for it. Srila Prabhupada was living in this room in Radha Damodar temple in Sri Vrindavan Dham, and so all the houses were very had a common wall. They were common walls. So the temple wall, and there was another house. So every day the neighbor would hear somebody crying, piteously crying. And since this Brajavasi, he would be sleeping in the middle of the night, he would think, who's crying every day in the middle of the night? Every day this person is crying. Who is this person? So one day he got up and he climbed on the roof. And from the roof he's saying, what is this? Who is crying every day? And then he sees Srila Prabhupada, 70-year-old, 69-year-old. Srila Prabhupada at 2 o'clock or 2:30 or whatever, Srila Prabhupada is sweeping the Radha Damodar temple. He is brooming and is crying and is calling out to Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and he's saying that if you don't shower your mercy, how will I execute the plan of my spiritual master? I'm old, but I cannot give up my body unless I execute my spiritual master's order. I don't have money. How will I go there? Please, I don't know what to speak. The Western people, okay, will they be able to understand what I'm speaking? If you don't shower your causeless mercy, I cannot speak anything. I cannot do anything. I cannot move even one step ahead. So every day, night, Srila Prabhupada would be brooming the Radha Damodar temple premises, and he would be crying desperately, begging for mercy from the 6 Goswamis, headed by Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami. And this Vrajavasi, when Srila Prabhupada, when he came back with his disciples, he said, it is not a surprise to me because I have seen him. And I knew if in this entire world there is anybody who can do this, it has to be Srila Prabhupada. It has to be our Srila Prabhupada. The Brajavasi said, I knew he would do it. He would make it. And I was simply waiting when Swamiji will come back with when I will get the news that Swamiji has, has fulfilled the mission. So this is our Srila Prabhupada. Pure devotees know very well that they are meant to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that all the things that exist constitute the means by which they can serve the Lord. Therefore, because a pure devotee has been blessed by the Supreme Lord from within the core of his heart, wherever he looks, the pure devotee, because the pure devotee is blessed by the Supreme Lord, so wherever the pure devotee looks, he sees the Lord and nothing more. Everywhere the pure devotee can see the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada could see Krishna everywhere. I know in His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj, who is the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, because of the town where my hometown, I mean, my previous, now we are, of course, now I would say my hometown is very much Sridham Mayapur, but previously, uh, so His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj, he comes, he lives there, and he loves that place. So that is also non-different from actually Dham. The pure devotee, wherever they are, that is a Dham. And so this place is very, Bhavnagar in Gujarat, is very, very dear to His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj, because his very dear disciple is heading the temple. He's the temple president there and very dear to Maharaj. So once, not once actually, multiple times this has happened. Even I have been very fortunate to uh, have seen this happen in front of me. So Maharaj, he's constantly in Leela Smaran. Maharaj, externally, if somebody looks at Maharaj, they will think that, oh, maybe he, after the stroke, Maharaj cannot recognize anybody. Maharaj does not understand much. But it's not true, because we have seen and we know, of course, that Maharaj, with his dear devotees, the way um, the conversations are so sweet, so relishable, and all the time Maharaj is in Leela Smaran. So when he says Krishna, he starts crying. And once the devotees were taking Maharaj in the wheelchair in the temple room, and suddenly Maharaj says, "See, dekho, 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 Krishna ja raha hai." So, and we can, this is not some fake, it's not like that. This is what is being said here. Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu is saying that because the pure devotee has been blessed by the Supreme Lord from within the core of his heart, wherever the pure devotee looks, they can see the Lord and they cannot see anything more. So this reminds me of His Holiness Radha Govindas Goswami Maharaj, who is constantly in Leela Smaran, and uh, whenever Kirtan is sung, he can sit in Kirtan for hours. The servants have to say, Maharaj, abhi chale, room mein chale, Maharaj, it is time for your rest. And Maharaj, sometimes he wakes up and he says ki Chaitanya Charitamrit lekar aao. Chaitanya Charitamrit padh ke sunao. And then for hours Maharaj is hearing Chaitanya Charitamrit without sleeping, without eating. Then servants have to say, Maharaj, you have to eat now. Maharaj, you must rest now. This is a pure devotee. Of course, our Guru Varg, Srila Prabhupada disciples, they are all pure devotees manifesting uh, the instructions of their spiritual master and our beloved founder Acharya and beloved uh, Param Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, um, so every one of them, they are all fully absorbed in fulfilling the instructions of their spiritual master. So anybody who is completely absorbed in planning, thinking, working out, executing the instructions of the spiritual master, now or later, they are already pure devotees. They are to be considered pure devotees. They are liberated. They are to be considered liberated. And they are sure to go back home, back to Godhead, undoubtedly. So we'll pause here, and Krishna willing, we'll continue reading from here tomorrow. Thank you very much for your very kind association. वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्रीमद श्रीला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।
हरि हरि बोल। श्री श्याम माता दी की